We're happy to welcome our very special guest today to the studio, Professor A.C. Scott from the University of Wisconsin. Professor Scott is known throughout the world for his work in Asian theater. Professor Scott, welcome to Michigan State University.
Thank you, Farley. I came here once before, if you remember.
Yes, I recall. Nearly 12 years ago.
Well, 16 now.
16 years ago.
This completes the cycle. It must be symbolic.
It must be. You're known throughout the world for your work in Asian theater.
Well, that's what they keep telling me. I haven't found that's the case in medicine.
Oh, I see. I had a question to ask you about your beginning studies in Asian theater. I've always wanted to ask you how you first started working in Asian theater.
Well, I started, of course, in Asia, to use a cliche. I was sent out to Asia during the war, and so I had my first taste of it. But after the war, I went back. I was in the armed forces, and life was disrupted and so on, and there was a chance to go out to China. Well, in this little film excerpt, I think you get a fairly good idea of the runway stage we use and how the student uses it during rehearsal. This is one of my senior graduate students, and she's working through an excerpt from Twilight Crane.
This was in your classroom?
Yes, this is the whole of the classroom. You get a good idea of the classroom itself. You see the runway, and there's the stages. We built it up. Of course, we changed this stage around for different things. In Twilight Crane, we used the 2 levels. And so Martha, the student, is going through the whole sequence with her voice as well as with her movements, just as though an actor is there. This is Kureiman rehearsing the students before a full dress rehearsal. It's on the stage of the theatre where we performed. So you can see the thoroughness and rigidity with which they had to do everything every day.
Is this
These are the 3 students who are playing Benki.
Is this close to the end of the rehearsal period or at the beginning?
Yes, we're actually in full dress rehearsal, so this was before they went into costume. This is, you see the stage, they had the kabuki stage with the pine tree and so on.
Then he's brushing...
He's brushing them up in their particular forms, kata.
This requires a special set of... well, it requires special planning from the student and a whole new vocabulary, doesn't it?
Oh, yes, it does. And, of course, these students are involved, deeply involved in this course. I mean, they have to spend a great deal of their time in it, but, of course, they have their other work to do as well, so...